Yahuwah. For thy loving kindness is good. Turn unto me according to the multitude of thy tender mercies. And hide not thy face from thy servant, for I am in trouble. Hear me speedily. Draw nigh unto my soul and redeem it. Deliver me because of mine enemies. Thou hast known my reproach, my shame, and my dishonor. My adversary are all before thee. Reproach hath broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Let their table become a snare before them, that which should have been for their welfare. Let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. Pour out thine indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. And let their habitation be desolate, and none dwell in their tents. For they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those who thou hast wounded. In iniquity unto their iniquity, let them not come into thy righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and be not written with the righteous. But I am poor and sorrowful. Let thy salvation, O God, set me up on high. I will praise the name of the I Am with a song, and will magnify him with thanksgiving. This shall please the I Am better than an ox or a bullock that has horns and hoofs. The humble shall see this and be glad, and your heart shall live, and that seek God. For the I Am heareth the poor, and despiseth not his prisoners. Let the heaven and the earth praise him, the seas and everything that moveth therein. For God will save Zion, and will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there and have it in possession. The seed also of his servants shall inherit it, and they that love his name shall dwell therein. Psalms chapter 69, verses 16 through 36. Yes. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, yes, yes. We give God the praise. All praise is great is your faithfulness, O most holy. I am even you. Sunini nanini tatanzambi. Yahweh, Yahuwah, Heya. Ya Allah. Whatever language we call you on you in, we thank you and we give you glory and praise for all that you've done. Your deliverance is bringing the poor out of their poverty and causing the mountains to be made low. We thank you for even those you have caused to even come out of the bondage of the wicked, even Burkina Faso. And we thank you for Chad and all the rest of them that have come out. And yet some of us are still laden in darkness. Our hearts are still bent toward wickedness, trying to be like those that are wicked. And we ask you to deliver us in those evil things that we do. Yes. And even those countries that have been delivered and are in the process of being delivered, we ask you that the evil of their country be subdued, and those that walk not according to your law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances be corrected or pushed out. And we thank you that you might have a righteous people somewhere that love you and obey you and know you and understand you. Yes, we thank God for you, and you. And you know, it's one thing I'm thinking about is this Psalms here. He says, they gave me gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Look at the crucifixion of your Jesus. Compare it with this here. There's a dead cat on the line. Did they give him gall for his meat? You know what gall is? Gall is a part of any organic being, human, animal, that develops a sort of acidic compound that turns food into bile. Now, you have a gallbladder, and also and if the gallbladder is removed, your liver can act as your gall. But the fact is that they gave him gall for my meat. In other words, a piece of some gall out of an animal to eat. Did they do that for Isis? And in my thirst they gave me vinegar. But they would use that part right there. In my thirst they gave me vinegar. It's made up. You have to really pay attention. This is why it's so important that you study and basically read the Word of God. Read the historical accounts of the children of Jacob. You have to read these things. It's imperative that you read these things because the deception is there to draw you away. And if God opened your eyes by some reason that you break loose of your chains of your surroundings and your circles, religious or whatever, when you break free of those chains and you start to see what God is trying to show you or what he has devised to draw and push men away from him, because he knows we're evil. If we boil down to the brass root, we're all evil toward the Most High because we want to do what we want to do. We want God to be sympathetic to us in our evil against his commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws. Yes, we do. Yes. We want to get away with our dirt, our nastiness, our hideousness, our lewdness, however dark it may be, in that what we do to our fellow man or our fellow human, period, whether they be child or adult. And there are even men that mess with men. They were actually great men as well as women. This is how evil this world has gotten and how lewd. But these things are so, for Deuteronomy chapter 28 also tells you. So with that and seeing what is going on, we should be rushing toward the law. The law is the way, the truth, and the life. Without it, no man can see God. Without obeying it, without doing those things that God says, no man can see even Yahweh, Yahuwah, the Heya, Ya Allah. No, you cannot. You cannot see him. Ain't no Jesus. Ain't no Yahweh Shai or no Yahusha. Nah. You got to go through the law. That is the way, the truth, and the life. Now God is speaking to a people. Somebody's hearing. He's speaking to someone. And this is why many times a program like this is hard for many to hear. But regardless, we're going to keep going anyway, as it is mandated, even in my heart, and as God keeps the avenue open. Yes. And also, we're in the book of 1 Kings. Still in 1 Kings. We haven't left there yet. 1 Kings chapter 15. We find out that David sits up there, and Saul, first it starts with Saul, and that he tried to second guess God. This is one of the sins. And then next thing you know, the sins of the flesh. King David, it's not the showbread that he takes, who begins to take an Hittite woman from her Hittite husband and kills her, allows her, in other words, sets up. It's the same as him murdering the Hittite husband. But God has mercy upon David because he sees his heart. Once he's caught. Many times we're caught in our sins. If David would have never been recognized in his sin, he would have never mentioned nothing about it. The same thing with the men of these days, preacher, priest, or whatever. Righteous man, law, or judge, or whatever. If they're not caught in their sin and it's proven against them, they will continue in that sin or act as though that sin never occurred. whether it's by spirit or by men. Men will never confess to a sin just straight out. And some will. Oh God, I have sinned. Caught up in my own madness, I have sinned. David didn't acknowledge that, but God had to point it out to him. He had to point it out to him. I see you. And once he saw, he was sorry he got caught. That's really what it is. You're sorry you got caught. Now you don't know what to do. And just like we said, let's continue to boycott these women who decide they want to manipulate men. This is evil. They want to manipulate men, whether on social media or right there and on your block or whatever, strip clubs and all these other things. Boycott them. Wayward wives, wayward girlfriends, or those in, should I say not girlfriends, but those who are betrothed to another man. Walk away from them. If you want to, tell on them. Man, your wife ain't right, man. She gonna mess up eventually. He might not believe you. Well, I would watch you need to watch your wife. He might not believe you, but the fact is that you've warned him. You've warned him. And don't go by trying to be out of spite to do these things. No. No, don't do that out of spite. But the fact is, we have to have a man code. We do have to have a man code, and that we take accountability in making the woman accountable. Just as she would make us accountable if we step out of line. You're going to have to do these things. I mean, some of you are not even people of, should I say, you're not men that think in terms of the Bible or religiously or whatever religion you follow. Still, we have to hold the woman accountable to her man and to her God. We have to hold that accountable. But nevertheless, let's continue. 1 Kings chapter 15. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned Abiam over Judah or Judah. So King in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, now he was over the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, whatever you want to call it. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name, this is what they talk about the woman. I want you to understand, look at the reasons. Macha, the daughter of Abishalom. Shalom, peace. Abishalom, okay? And he walked in all the sins of his father. Who? Rehoboam. And his mother's name, and he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect before the I am his God, as the heart of David his father. Now, the only reason David his father's heart was counted pure because he repented. He didn't do those things that he did again. Neither they were in his heart to even do them again. But the fact is, he did do the sin, and the consequences are in a downward spiral. Nevertheless, for David's sake did the I am his God give him a lamp in Jerusalem, or Yasharal, to set up his son after him, to establish Yasharal or Jerusalem. That's all I'm going to say. Because David did that which was right in the sight of the I am, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Okay, he made it plain. Okay, and there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. The two houses, Israel and Judah. Both of them were Israelites. Now, the rest of the acts of Abiam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abiam and Jeroboam. It's the house of David and the house of Jeroboam. And Abiam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. Now, these are brief summaries of the books of Kings, are brief summaries of the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah. And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maachah, and the daughter of Absalom. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of the Abiam, as did his father. In other words, he had a heart to repent. He had a heart to go the way of the Most High. Yes. Okay, let's continue. In other words, we're saying no one is ever going to be perfect. You're going to have something in your heart. This is why Abraham prayed, deliver me from, he said, deliver me from the thoughts. Deliver me from the evil spirits, the control they have over us, the things they put in our minds. I'm saying it in a different way. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land. That's just like in Burkina Faso. I talk about them a lot because he took away all those who would cause the land to be in upheaval, the land to be in distress. Took them away. Now they're angry because they live lavishly off of the labor and the wealth that God had given that land, that he put in that land. Yes. Now they're going down. Their economies is shrinking, and pretty soon it'll be a third world country. You see, if you don't see God working in all these things, if you don't see God working, God is working. He's doing a lot to those who were colonizers once, not only the European colonizers, but also, or should I say, those colonizers that came out the Caucasus Mountains, also those of the Arabs. He's working. He can do it fast and he can do it slow, but he does it in a time. I see that he's working also with the hearts of the men of the Hamites, Shemites, and Japhites, the original ones. He's working in their hearts to turn them back to himself. Is what he's doing. To turn you back to himself, your king. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his father had made. And also Maachah, his mother. He got rid of her too. And he removed from being queen because she had made an idol in a grove. See, look at these women trying to be equal or trying to be above. They've done things to entice weakness before the spirits of this world. She made an idol in a grove, and Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook of Kidron. In other words, I don't care how old you is, ma'am, you got to go. But in the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was perfect, complete with the I am in all his days. And he brought in the tidings which his father had dedicated, and the things which himself had dedicated. That means the shields and all these other things. In the house of the I am, silver and gold and vessels, whatever he could find, because the rest of them were taken by the king of Egypt. And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. You see, you run about Egyptian, the way they did things. In those days, people stole each other's gods and ideologies of God, and they sublimated them unto what they consider would be beneficial to their people. See, you don't get it. You don't get it. Just because history is written in stone and all this other stuff don't mean that it's true. Especially versus our God, who is one. Maybe they started with a one God and then they changed his name, even putting an idol in. When there's an idol in the midst, then there is evil. And Baasha, king of Israel. Now there was war between Baasha, king of Israel, in all their days. And Baasha, king of Israel, verse 17, went up against Judah and built Ramah, and that he might not suffer any to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. So Baasha was king of Israel. He was an Israelite, yes. And built Ramah that he might not suffer any to go out and come into Asa, king of Judah, another Israelite, a Judean. And Asa took all the silver and gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Iam. Now this is where Solomon had got these treasures from Ophir. Some say it's in Kenya, no. Some say it's in parts of Africa, no. Ophir was right across there in the land that we call Yemen. Around that area, in that area, at the site of that area. Even the Queen of Sheba. These were Africans back. These are, you have to remember that this part of Shem was from the Euphrates River, even where it ends, all the way to the River Nile, or the Brook of Egypt. Not only that was just what God had named was just the borders of Israel, but now you have the Shemites. You read where we had before, we had the Edomites, and then you had different parts of Shem and all these things that occurred. They were in that land. And also parts of Africa was part of the land of Shem, even at the end of the Red Sea. All the way, you say there's Djibouti somewhere around there, and then there's, you got Yemen at the tip of it right there too. But these are Shemite lands. Yes, they're Shemite lands, Israelite lands, yes. Then Asa took all the silver and gold. And then another thing, what makes a land holy? There's nothing holy about Africa. There's nothing holy about any of it. Where is God really moving and doing those things? Yes, he's moving with the Sahel nations and causing them to come together and be unified. But are they still working toward being one under the name of the Most High, even according to his statutes, commandments, and ordinances? God has this plan for that area. He has this plan for those people at the time that they are. And the only thing I can say is beware. The fight they fight against each other is for you. Because if one wins, you lose, or they're going to batter you like crazy. If the other wins, you win. Because the fact is, they will not be able to assess you because you will be given the means to fight against them and also have help. So you see God in his workings. And if you can figure out what I just said, I know what I said. Yes, I do. Good for you. And if you can instruct your leaders to act accordingly instead of as puppets or whatever, then it's even better for you. Or pray that God gives you good leaders. Now Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Iam and the treasures of the king's house and delivered them into the hands of his servant. And the king Asa took them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hazion, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, there is a league between me and thee, between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent unto thee presents. Now he did the wrong thing here. And gold, silver and gold. Come and break my league with Baasha, king of Israel. He did this just to get back at his own brother, that he may depart from me. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto Asa, King Asa, and sent the captains of the hosts which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ion. That J wasn't there. Ion and David, and Dan, and Abel Beth-Maachah, and all Cinneroth, and all the land of Naphtali. This is the lands which they take. And it came to pass, when Baasha heard thereof, he left off building of Ramah, and dwelt in Tirzah. And the king Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted. And they took away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had builded. And King Asa built with them Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. This is where the names come from. And the rest of the acts of Asa and all his might and all that he did and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Judah? Nevertheless, in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet. They say disease in his feet, he could have diabetes. That can cause your feet to rot. Now, let's continue. And Asa slept with his fathers and was buried with his father in the city of David his father, and Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his stead. And Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa king of Judah, and reigned over Israel 2 years. And he did evil in the sight of the and walked in a way of his father, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. In other words, they chose their poison, which was a king. Yes, they had one king good, then another king come and lead them astray. And the children of Israel never even had a righteous king after the split. And he did evil. Verse 27, and Baasha, the son of Ahijah, of the son of the house of Issachar, conspired against him. And Baasha smote him at Gibbethim, which belonged to the Philistines. See, this is really, it's really Palestine. They named the whole land after Philistine, but it's just another name. Palestine is another name for Philistina. For Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethim. Even in the 3rd year of Asa king of Judah did Baasha slay him and reign in his stead. Yes. And it came to pass when he reigned that he smote all the house of Jeroboam. This was the king of Judah. And left not to Jeroboam any that breathed. This was their way to destroy not only the man, but everything that could give him seed. Until he had destroyed him according to the slaying of the which he had spoke by his servant Ahiah in Shilonite. You heard the sword in the king where they went after the king because he was exiled from the country. All this they got from the Bible. It's from the Bible. It never was a true story. No way. And because of the sins of Jeroboam which he sinned, and which he made Israel sin, by his provocation wherewith he provoked the of Israel to anger. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. And in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, began Baasha, son of Ahiah, or Ahijah, as they put it, to reign over all Israel in Tirzah 24 years. And he did evil in the sight and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. Israel was split. The kings have become wicked. And there was nothing, and the people, as the king was wicked, the people were wicked. The king was righteous, the people did what was right. This is always the case, and God warned them of this. But yet we want a king. Your idolatry is your choosing a man over God. Period. Whether it's pastor, preacher, teacher, anything you will obey and listen to their opinion rather than the commandment, statutes, ordinance of the Most High is evil toward the Most High. Even his first commandment, thou shalt not have any gods above me, or however you want to put it. And if we do that right, we will have peace.
Walk with me.